With so many functions available in Excel, it's impossible to know them all, let alone remember their syntax. A great place to explore Excel functions is the function library, which is found in the Formulas ribbon. As you can see, functions are sorted into common categories to make them easier to find. To explore any of these categories, just click on the arrows and you will see a list of all functions in that category in alphabetical order. If you don't see the category you're looking for, you can click on More Functions. Excel also keeps track of your recently used functions, which can be quite helpful, and you can access them easily through this icon. Now, if you ever get stuck and are unsure of which function to use or the correct syntax for a particular function, Excel's Function Wizard can help you. Click on the cell you want to enter the function into and then click Insert Function. You can also open the wizard by pressing Shift and F3. In the search box at the top, just type a brief description or even some keywords to tell Excel what function you're looking for or what you want to calculate, and Excel will then suggest the functions that best meet your search criteria. So if we type interest rate in the search box and then click on Go, the function list will update to show us all functions related to interest rate calculations. Clicking on any of these functions in the list will show you a description of what the function does at the bottom over here. Let's use the function wizard to insert a function to calculate the average of cells B1 to B5. Click on cell B7, which is the cell we want to enter our function into, and then click on Insert Function. Now type average into the search box and press Go. We will see a list of all functions related to the keyword average. On first glance, it seems like the function we want is simply called average, but we should click on it and read the description to double check. When you find the function you're looking for, just double-click on it to activate the function's argument dialog box. This dialog box will guide you through the arguments needed for the function you have selected and is particularly useful for complex or unfamiliar functions. In the latest versions of Excel, the first argument may be autofilled with a suggested argument which you can edit. You will notice that some arguments are bold. This means that they are required to select, while non-bold arguments are optional. For each required argument, you need to enter a value or a cell reference. In our case, we just need to enter one argument, which is the cell range we want to calculate the average for. We can type it into this field or click on this icon, and that will then allow us to select the cell or cell range on our spreadsheet. We can also preview the function's result over here, and clicking OK will insert the function into the cell we had selected. Now Excel has yet another function feature that makes working with functions user-friendly. This is called Formula IntelliSense, which is essentially an autocomplete feature. Whenever you start typing a function into Excel, Excel will display a dynamic drop-down list of valid functions that match the letters as you type them. Let's try this feature out by using the average function again. Enter an equal sign into cell B7 and start typing in the function name. As we type in the letters, Excel will prompt us with functions that match the letters we have typed in so far, and we can click on the function we want when we see it. Now Excel will prompt us with the function syntax. This is a quick and easy way to find out which arguments are needed for a specific function so that we write it correctly. Remember, arguments in square brackets are optional, so from this syntax we can see that the average function needs at least one argument. Talking about arguments, the number of arguments needed varies from function to function. Most functions require at least one argument, But there are some functions that don't require any arguments, such as the now function. The now function is used to calculate the current date and time. Here is its syntax. You will notice that even though it doesn't require any arguments, a set of brackets is a must. If we enter it correctly in a cell and press enter, we will obtain the current time and date. Now, it is also possible for an argument to be a function, and these are called nested functions. Do you remember BEDMAS, which is the order of operations? Take a look at this function syntax. This is a sum function with two arguments, and the average function is nested within it as one of these arguments. Following the order of operations, everything in brackets is calculated first. Therefore, Excel will first calculate the average of cells B1 to B5, followed by the sum of B1 to B5, and then add both these values up. Let's try this out. As we know, the total for cells B1 to B5 was 150, while the average was 30. So this nested function should give us a result of 180. Let's check.